You're listening to the Back Porch Talk podcast. Danny and Jason had many discussions and debates on the back porch while making pivotal investment moves with assets. That's right, with trading cards. They welcome you to the back porch and right into those discussions about current sports news with a fresh and unique twist. So come on and join us. Welcome to the Back Porch Talk podcast. I'm your host, Jason.
This is your co-host, Danny.
And we have a fun-filled show for you today. Today, we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend, in which it was in Chicago. And what a phenomenal weekend, in my opinion. Wanted to celebrate the lives of David Stern, Commissioner David Stern, and also Kobe Bryant. But then also just the NBA All-Star Weekend, in particular Saturday night, that led into the new format on Sunday. So, Danny, what are your thoughts about the weekend and especially the new format on Sunday night?
So starting with Saturday, I thought everything went really well. It was exciting the whole night through, from the skills challenge to the three-point contest, finishing up with the slam dunk contest. So that was awesome. Just high level. And then Sunday with the All-Star game, I've been wanting to always watch the All-Star game just because I enjoy watching basketball and watching the stars come out, even though it may sometimes turn into like a slam dunk competition during the game and no one's playing any defense. So it was refreshing last night to see them actually hooping hard in each quarter, even with the new format, like you mentioned, of every quarter, each team, whoever won the quarter, got the donation for their charity of choice, and they had the recipients of the money sitting there courtside.
Man, that format was phenomenal. I think that, there could be some, tinkering to it, if you will, but that last quarter, that fourth quarter, first of all, I have to say this. Let me back up here for a moment. On Sunday, Common did a phenomenal job. Just the whole intro, the whole skit with the young kid there dreaming about playing basketball, and really just the whole video montage and really repping the city and all. So I have to give major kudos to Common. I don't know what happened with the national anthem by Shaka Khan. I'm just going to let that be where it is. Don't want to disrespect in any way. I'm an elder. I was going to let that be. Thank you, Shaka Khan, for Sweet Love and all of the other hits that you made. I'm just going to leave it at that. Jennifer Hudson did a phenomenal job in the tribute there of Kobe and everybody else involved in the helicopter crash. So major kudos to Jennifer Hudson. And then the game itself, man, let me tell you, this was just a phenomenal game. I don't see the NBA in any way needing to go to some kind of tournament. Remember how they were talking about mid-season? We're going to change things up and where we're going to have a tournament in the middle of the season, all that stuff. Man, throw that out the window. We now have a for real all-star game. We have a for real pickup game amongst the stars for charity and all. And I am totally excited about it. The concern I do have, man, I saw so many fouls that weren't called. I saw people getting slapped upside their head. All that stuff, man. You even had a review. They had to review Giannis's block on LeBron.
Two reviews.
So, I mean, the fact that they had to go to the review, the fact that there were a charge called, two of them, that is major in an all-star game. So that's major. So I think they need to leave this in, make some minor tweaks to it. I don't know about a free throw at the end of the game to determine the winner of the game.
How about win by two, Jay? Like we used to do.
Win by two.
You got to win by two.
Got to win by two. I would say this, though, too, to add. I believe, you remember how we used to always go to 21 and stuff like that?
Yep.
Play 21. Man, I can see that being changed across the globe, going to 24. Go to 24, win by two. So I can see that actually happening. I think they need to leave this format in, minor tweaks. Forget about a mid-season tournament. Forget about a mid-season trophy or whatever the case may be. This right here, I believe, is what is needed, and then the money is going to charity. So leave this format in. NBA, you did an excellent job here. I believe Chris Paul is the one who actually recommended the change to Commissioner Silver, and I think that this was really good for the NBA.
Yes, and I like too, even the fourth quarter, but even like the third quarter, yeah, any quarter, they were playing hard to try to get that money.
Trying to get that money, man, for the
And like,
kids.
was that the third quarter where it was they're going back and forth down to like the last 2 seconds, and then it rolled over into the fourth, right? Because they couldn't.
Yeah, it rolled over to the fourth. Yeah. So
So
they tied in the third quarter. Since there was no winner in the third quarter, they rolled that money over to the fourth
yes,
into
and
the game.
I'm curious, like the length of time, because it took approximately 40 some minutes to play the quarter. I
Yeah,
was all into it, so
yeah.
I didn't care.
I didn't
But
care either.
some people
I
may
will.
say that length may be too long due to that, but it all depends if they're hitting shots or not.
Well, here's the thing. I have to give some kudos to, I think it was Coach Vogel. Coach Vogel made actually a good substitution in that fourth quarter. I don't think the coaches really knew what the rules were. I don't think Nick Nurse knew what the rules was, because he played his squad the entire fourth quarter. There was no subbing in the fourth quarter by Nick Nurse's team, by Giannis's team at all.
Yeah, I'm
And
curious. I'm curious because he had two Raptors in though that whole time. So after the fallout of all of this, what he says as far as that's concerned.
man, listen, I don't think he knew the rules. I think his thought probably was, okay, the starting five has to play the entire quarter. There's no changes or what have you. I think that's what he thought, because I would say midway, I think there was like maybe, what was it, 15 more points to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when LeBron's team actually subbed
Exactly.
to
So
come
he should
in.
have saw that and be like, all right, man, let me get Gobert in here, maybe
Let
Donovan
me get
Mitchell,
let
maybe
me get
Trey
some people.
Young, who was a starter in.
Trey Young didn't even play the whole quarter.
That's what I mean.
And
That's
that
what
was and that would have been a mismatch anyway, because Trey Young's so skinny and everything.
but he could have
So,
spread the floor so Giannis could have got off.
but the way they were playing, though, man, they were playing straight hard. So I don't know, I don't know,
But
man.
Donovan
I,
Mitchell could have been in at least, I think. And
I
Gobert could have been
agree.
in there protecting the rim.
I agree. I agree. Something there. I mean, I don't think Nick Nurse knew all the whole rules.
Like even Middleton could have been in there to spread the floor. He could hold
Something,
his own against those dudes on the West squad or LeBron squad.
something. So let me ask you this then. So, do you feel that Giannis did a good job of picking the squad, even though he took the L? Do you think he did a good job picking the squad?
I think so, man. They were up. How much were they going into the fourth? Like 9 or 11?
Not, yeah,
They
exactly.
started off slow, but then
They
I
had that
thought they
breakout
were going
second.
to steamroll, but then he didn't sub. And I'm like, what is he doing? And they looked,
Yeah,
they're exhausted.
yeah. Exhausted, man. Joel Embiid was like, man, I haven't played this many minutes in a game period, and he played that
Straight,
in one quarter.
straight, straight. Fourth quarter, he played the whole thing.
The whole fourth quarter, man. So yeah, I don't know. They're going to make some tweaks on that, or like I said, I think that's on Nick Nurse. He didn't know the rules.
Mm-hmm. And now
I
them
think.
playing through it now, they'll have an idea of what to expect. Because a lot of people did make the comment out there of didn't really know what to expect until we got there and actually saw what was going on. But
Mm-hmm.
if you know, this is very similar to what they do in the 5-on-5 tournament during the summer. What is that called? For the $2 million, the tournament. I can't think off the top of my head. No, this is where all the former college and they have like the former Ohio
Oh
State.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I know it's I just I can't remember off the top of my head right
It's
now.
slipping my mind, but that's how they end the games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's they put that target score out there, and then whoever gets there first wins the
I
game.
got
So
money.
I
Yep.
like it.
I like it. I like it. No need to do a mid-season tournament here, NBA. Go with this, make some minor tweaks to it, and flow with it. So I think Giannis did a good job of picking the squad. The only thing I think he really needed it was another guard here, a consistent guard. Kemba Walker was out there getting slapped up and everything in the fourth quarter. Man, Lowry, yeah, he had a couple of charges that he made, and he just couldn't shoot worth nothing. I think maybe another guard would have been good for Giannis in the squad there.
But I think Jay, if they
To your point, Nick Nurse could have went ahead and swapped in Donovan Mitchell or Trae Young.
Or he had Middleton, he had Butler, right?
Yeah, Butler, yeah.
And these are all dudes.
You know what?
But
Butler should have been up in there. Butler should have been in there.
Yeah, I just didn't understand him playing Kemba, and I understand Lowry because that's his guy. And if you watch All-Star games in the past, the coaches kind of lean towards the dudes they know, especially if they're on their team. So he has Siakam and Lowry out there the whole time. But I didn't understand Kemba. I'm like, if you had Kemba out there, you could have subbed him and put Trae Young or Donovan Mitchell or Middleton.
Donovan Mitchell or somebody else.
And then Gobert could have been protecting the paint.
Again, I don't think he knew the rules, man.
Yeah. And just quick side note, TBT, the basketball tournament is the tournament we were referring to that do the scoring point where you got to get to the certain point total. The other thing, man, with where if you take a look back at it, where some of the falls and some of the things that were going on with the players, yeah, that was great. But dang, because there are some things going on in that game where people are taking falls and hits.
And yeah, exactly. They were going in hard and taking, like you said, taking falls. And I think they'll make those minor tweaks, but I think it's going to be one in where they're going to hear a lot from team executives.
That's exactly my point, yes.
I'm sorry. They love the format, but they're going to have to make some tweaks to make it a little bit more safe.
But I don't know how you do that because it was like a playoff game. Honestly, the intensity that was going on. Well, but these dudes, that's all they know when they're in that mode. It was like, hey, man, we're trying to win. I'm not going out like that. Let's go.
I think you know what it was. I think it was the referees. I think the referees were confused in terms of in between an actual game versus a pickup game. I think they were confused. And I think that's where there will be a minor tweak there in where the league's going to have to say, okay, fourth quarter is going to be officiated like an actual game versus a pickup game.
Yes.
Just to have that safety aspect in there for the players. So we'll see. 2021, it will be in Indianapolis. I will say for the entire weekend, I absolutely love how much they really infuse Chicago, the Chicago players, the Chicago athletes, both male and female, into the fabric of this weekend. There was an NBA showcase of NBA legends, WNBA legends from Chicago, and it was absolutely a joy to really hear them talk about Chicago, talk about how they grew up. Us being from Racine, we know that Chicago makeup. They were talking about if you don't make it in high school, if you're not known in high school, forget all the rest of the levels. You got to be known in high school. They talked about having to actually face up with the best in Chicago. Forget the suburbs. If you lived in the suburbs, you'd be talked about until you actually get in Chicago and earn your stripes and earn your respect. They talked about the tenacity, the grit of Chicago players, especially the likes of Pat Beverly. They're saying Pat Beverly is the prototypical Chicago player, and how tough-minded he is, how in your face he is, how he plays defense and everything. And that's the Chicago player. So, and they also talked about the different sides of towns and how the South Side was compared to the West Side and the North Side and the East Side. So it was really, really interesting to hear that. And they consider themselves to be really the Mecca. Forget that being out in New York. They consider Chicago being the Mecca of basketball. So it was really good to hear that conversation, but then also really infuse hip hop with Chance the Rapper. You had Queen Latifah doing some things. And then you also obviously had Common. So just the infusion of hip hop, those from Chicago being that of Common and also Chance the Rapper, it was just a phenomenal, in my opinion, weekend for the NBA. And again, they actually pay respects to Commissioner David Stern and also. The other beautiful thing for this weekend was they interviewed Dominique Wilkins about the 88 slam dunk contest. They interviewed other players and other people who were there for the 88 slam dunk contest, primarily between Jordan and Dominique. All of them said that Neek got robbed.
Yes, he did.
A lot of people said that Neek got robbed. This has confirmed my stance. I said in the earlier show that Dominique got robbed. They even showed basically all the dunks and the missed dunks in the finals in the 88 slam dunk contest. I remember Shaq saying he actually forgot that Jordan missed the free throw line dunk before he actually made it. So in a sense, meaning Jordan had two opportunities to do the same dunk and got a 50 on the second one. That is a home court advantage. That is a home court advantage. Come on, y'all. Neek did not miss a dunk at all. And He got robbed because they gave him a 45 off of the windmill two-hand dunk off of the sideline. And they gave him a 45 for that. So they got robbed. Much like how Aaron Gordon got robbed in this one. I believe, man, Aaron Gordon got robbed, man. He got robbed. I mean, he had, 5 50s for dunks and still did not win. Yes. Don't get me wrong. The other competitor, Jones Jr., he was actually really, really good. Very good. High flyer. But Aaron Gordon got robbed. What were your thoughts, Danny?
Watching it, it was very exciting to watch because of the dunks they were doing. I did think Aaron Gordon got robbed because Derrick Jones Jr. was doing a similar dunk. He was just putting a little flavor on each time, not taking anything away because all those dunks were incredible. But he was doing a similar dunk versus Aaron Gordon was switching it up a little bit here and there. So what this told me, man, was first off, they going to have to pay Aaron Gordon a lot of money to do this ever again because he's got robbed twice now.
He already said he's not doing it ever again. Post game, post dunk contest interviews, in an official press conference, he stated he will never ever do the dunk contest again. He's going to focus in on the 3-point contest. That's what he said.
And so for that, the NBA needs to reach out to him and say, all right, man, we done messed up twice. Here's how we're going to fix it. And here's how we're going to help you get back to that dunk contest and some type of financial or whatever they do to make it right with him. I know it's not going to bring it back because he missed 2 championships, slam dunk championships, but they need to do something with the judges. I know it's all part of the ambiance and the live and having everyone there and having them mic'd up and talking to people, but there was too much influence and where the scores didn't dictate actually what was going on because Pat Connaughton from the Bucks, I thought earlier got robbed on his score. So it's like, hold on, man. There was no consistency.
I agree.
And so that's where they need to fix that going forward.
I agree. And actually, truth be told, I actually wanted to see Connaughton more. I actually wanted to see him in the second round at least because I was curious to know man, what is he going to do next? Because when they actually slow mode his second dunk, and where he hit the backboard and then dunked it, and he had to explain, and then when they slow mode it, everybody was like, "Oh no, he didn't." So I was really actually wanting to see more of Connaughton in the second round. So they're going to have, yeah, you're right. They're going to have to tweak some things.
Because the people they had judging, like if it was Dr. J, Dominique, past participants, then I'm cool with it because they know what's going on. They understand the magnitude of what's going on with the scores. So that in that case, I'm cool. If it's people that were former slam dunk champions, let it be. But if it's these people that they're bringing in, actors and entertainers and all these other people that may or may not understand the magnitude of what's going on, then they need to figure that out and change it because dudes aren't going to participate after this year, especially because of social media now and that getting blown up in their face like, hey, man, look what happened to Aaron Gordon.
Exactly. Now, one thing that I did hear a judge say, or at least I saw written, was that the thought or the goal was to score it so that way it could be considered a tie. But there was a quote unquote rogue judge who went the other way. We don't know who that rogue judge is, but it should have been, in my opinion, it should have been a tie. And to me, they went one or two dunks beyond what they really needed to go for it to be considered a tie. So, but they're going to have to do something. I know Derrick Jones Jr., he did sign a contract with Puma right after. And so he got his money from the dunk contest or being the dunk contest winner and got his money for signing a Puma deal.
Like you said, they limit it to so many dunks, but then they do everything else like co-MVP of the All-Star game, co-rookie of the year. Why can't be a co-slam dunk champion? And I thought, too, they should have penalized people when they missed their first dunk. So it should have been 9 off top. You missed that first one, you get penalized. You don't get a 50 because you did it twice. You didn't execute.
Much like what Jordan got back in '88. Jordan got penalized for that first dunk, for missing that first dunk from the free throw line, but yet he went ahead and did it again and got a 50, man. Get the hell out of here with that. Hashtag Neek got robbed. I said it. Hashtag Neek got robbed. Well, I will say the 3-point contest was very intriguing as well. They incorporated the 3-point shot. Actually. Yes. And so they added 10 seconds to the clock, incorporated 2 3-point shots a little bit further beyond the arc there. And I think that was, in my opinion, welcome. I mean, they're shooting from out there anyway. Why not? So I think that was a great addition to the 3-point contest.
I enjoyed that too, man. It was dramatic all the way down to the end. Like you said, with that 30-footer they added with the 2 spots now. It was very strange not seeing Steph and Clay not participating due to injury, of course. So that was strange not seeing them there. But the guys that were there, man, they put on a show, man. Devin Booker and then Buddy Hield, what he did right at the end. Yeah. It was so exciting, man. It was great.
I got to ask this, man, and we may need to do some more digging, more research into this. What the hell are the Sacramento Kings doing? I understand they put Buddy Hield on the bench. They put him on the bench, man. So I don't know what the hell's going on out in Sacramento. I think he's coming up on contract.
He is.
And so I'm like, listen, Bucks, this may be an opportunity here. If we want another 3-point shooter, man,
and he's gonna command a lot of money too.
He will command a lot of money. I agree there. I don't know. We don't have it right now. That means we have to go into a luxury tax. But at the same token, man, that would be a nice piece.
If you remember back in the draft when he came out from Oklahoma, I was pushing for them to take Buddy Hield.
Yeah, yep. We at the time we needed a 3-point shooter.
Yep.
You need a
And he was a
3-point shooter.
veteran college player. He wasn't
Yeah,
a
exactly.
straight out of or one and done.
Exactly. That's the NBA All-Star Weekend wrap-up for 2020. Looking forward to 2021 in Indianapolis. Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at @back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.